line, let's talk about the Tesla Cybertruck. I mean, it obviously looks very futuristic, but what makes it different from other EV pickups?
Well, one of the things that makes it different is the fact that it looks completely different, as you're aware. It almost looks quite Halloweenish, a lot of people have said. But one of the things that really surprises me is that the front end is so blunt. And the reason that manufacturers don't produce vehicles like that today is because of pedestrian or bicyclists crossing crosswalks. You know, if something happens, you don't want to kill these people. So car manufacturers have followed the NHTSA regulations, which have been, not to be so aggressive and basically blunt on the front. Surprisingly, he's able to get away with it, although he's able to get away with a lot these days. But the vehicle itself, a lot of people thought it was a big flop because you have to wait in line. A friend of mine waited in line, paid the $250, and he's not getting his vehicle till June of next year. You can get into a Ford Lightning truck, a Rivian R1T, a Hummer EV, or some of the other vehicles that are out there that have longer distances between chargers, which is also one of the things that's a negative for this vehicle.
And something you alluded to, I mean, Elon Musk is a very polarizing figure. Do you think that that could impact the appetite for this vehicle?
No, he has followers. He is the Pied Piper. When he puts out product, people that are into the technology, they buy it. They love what he produces. They love everything that he does and refuse to buy some of the other vehicles that are available on the market today. But there's such great product that's available. I mean, looking at the Lucid, for example, their lineup goes 500 miles on a charge. They don't have a pickup truck at this time, but they have SUVs and sedans. And as far as pickup trucks and electric, they don't necessarily work together when it comes to towing because it reduces the range so dramatically, which is why having it is more of just something to say, I have one and you don't.
Yeah, so that kind of leads us to the next question here. I mean, there is such a massive market for full-size pickup trucks, and the three top selling vehicles in the U.S. are pickup trucks. So if it really doesn't make sense to get an EV truck because you can't really tow as much with it, do you think that we're going to see less demand for these EV trucks, especially with these higher price points?
I agree that is definitely the case, Maritza. But I think one of the things to note is that Ford originally put out their F-150 Lightning because it was a work truck. The thing is, people that use work trucks, and I actually own a 1-ton truck, you're using it to tow a trailer, you're using it to haul heavy equipment. Maybe you'll use it on a work site, but the most things that people don't realize is that when you're using these trucks as daily drivers, you need to have longer range. You need to have quicker charging. And that's one of the big problems, either a 400-volt architecture, which means it's slower charging. The Tesla has faster charging, as the Rivian R1T does as well. But it really doesn't make sense. If you're going to tow long distances, you're going on long road trips, the electric car can work, but it really isn't the answer.
So Ford and GM say that they're going to scale back EV investments. Almost 4,000 auto dealers sent a letter to the president asking him to kind of hold off on this 2030 goal of battery-powered cars. Do you think that we'll see that happen?
Well, I hope so. It's very difficult at this point. I mean, car manufacturers are producing product they're taking a loss on. If they choose not to make these vehicles, they will be fined by all the different 3- and 4-letter agencies, including the EPA. So they have to produce these products because the government is mandating it. They're producing products they take a loss on. And these cars sit on dealer lots, which is why almost 4,000 dealers wrote a letter to the White House saying, listen, this isn't going to work. We have cars sitting on lots. You pick a brand, they're all sitting there. And it's fine if it sits there for 30 days, 60 days, maybe even 90 days. But we've got vehicles sitting on lots, and they're called turns. They've been sitting on lots for almost a year. If you've got a vehicle sitting on a lot for a year, you're paying financing fees on that. And maybe there's some good deals for those that want them, but those people that really want them have already purchased them. Those that are kind of on the fence are looking at hybrids, and they're looking at other forms of transportation besides electric because there's so many other choices. If they mandated all electric, these dealers would be in trouble because people won't buy them. They'll keep what they have. And that is not what car manufacturers want. They want people to have what they call obsolescence. You get rid of your car every 3 years or 4 years. That's how they make money.
All right, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Have a good weekend.